Okay, welcome back to part 2. So, I've had the logger, we've set it up, we've taken it out, I've actually taken it out, put it in the sun, brought it back, put it near the air conditioner, taken it out in the sun, probably been 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm going to, that's where the logger plugs in, just in there. So I'm going to plug the interface into that hole, like so. Just set the logger there. Now, if I click on the red section up here on the temperature graph, the previous, it tells me that EOD is HLP, which is what I set it at, and we've got 246 records recorded at 2 seconds each. So that's fine, we've had that recording. Now the logger's still recording at this minute. So if I hit that previous again, it should go, we've got 246 records now. Hit it again, it'd go out, and we've got 257 records. So it's still recording, I haven't stopped it. Now, up the top here, down in the bottom, in the middle, there's a section there which is download, and it says start, end, and exit. Now the exit goes out of the program, but what I want to do now is I want to download the data from the logger to the computer. Now until you do this, the logger's still recording. After you do this, the logger will not be recording anymore, it will just be sitting there doing nothing. So, as I said, we'll click up here again, the previous section. It says 277 records. So I'm going to click download, start. If you look down here in the bottom left, you'll see it's ticking over. It doesn't take too long. It's actually downloaded all the data, and it's now drawn a graph on the screen. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. So there's our graph, and you can see where I've taken the unit out and put it in front of the air conditioner to get the temperature to come down, just so that we've got something interesting on the graph rather than just a straight line across. So that's a temperature graph. The next process would be to save that file. Second tab across the top, I'll say save. It'll ask me where I want to save it. I'm just going to leave it set up in the same place where the logger is. Down here, second from the bottom, we've got file name. I'm going to call that lens test on Friday. There you go. And I'll go OK. Now that's saved that onto the computer hard drive for me. So it's there forever until the computer dies. So that's really it. Now, the logger's still connected to the interface. The software's here. The logger's not logging because I've just downloaded it. If I want to put that back into the fridge, I need to go up to logger set again. It'll open up that same window. I want to click OK on the logger's time and date window, and that will just download it. If you need to change the identifier, if you want to put it into a different fridge, I'll just change that and call it fridge 2. If I could spell, it'd be fridge 2. F-R-I-D-G-E 2. Fridge 2. So, and you click OK, and it downloads that to the logger. Now, the logger's next logger setting, see up there on the left-hand side of the screen, it says next logger setting. So this is where you want to reset this logger. So if I'm going to put that into a fridge, then 1 or 2 second sample times is no good. So I'll make that, I'll make it 30 minutes. So I'll roll that up to 30 in the middle window, 30. So now my sample rate is 30 minutes, so it's 0 hours, 30 minutes, 0 seconds. Now the start mode this time I'm going to make immediate. So it'll start straight away, and I'm going to put that straight in the fridge. I can set the alarms if I want to, but I don't have to. So all I do then is click the OK button. It goes away. Got no error messages. Now, if we look at the logger, take the logger off the interface and look at the logger, if you can see the display says 26.9 degrees C, and on top of the temperature is a word that says REC. So that is actually recording. Unless you see that REC on the logger window, it's not recording. Now, there's a little light here as well on the logger which says REC. Now that will flash every time the logger takes a reading. In this case, every 30 minutes that light will flash and take a reading. But you know it's logging because the REC on the window of the logger says it is. On the top left-hand corner of the logger, we've got an ALM light. Now this is a red LED, which is the alarm light. If you set any alarms, and if the temperature is greater or lower than the alarms you set, then the ALM light will flash. And it will flash like once every 5 seconds just to alert someone. So that's it. Now that logger goes back in the fridge. We'll leave it for a month or a week, whatever your logging times are. Bring it back. You download it to the computer. You save the file. You reset the logger, and you put it back out in the fridge. Now the batteries last typically for 1 or 2 years. And when the battery gets low, you get a little display up here that'll say bat low. And you should replace the battery at that time. But yeah, so that's how to use the logger. It's how to set up the software and to make it work. There are lots of other things you can do, and on the disc, the CD that comes with it, there's a full, like a 50 or 60 page instruction manual which tells you how to do statistics, how to overlay different files on top of each other so you can check how one fridge is running this year compared to last year if you've got all that data or whatever. And you've got this print graph button at the top. Very simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across. Print graph. What you see on the screen is what you'll get printed. And you can select any printer that's on your network and you can just print it. You click OK and it's done. And that will print a graph. In this case, it's going to a colour printer, so it'll print exactly what we see on screen here, a colour graph of the temperature. And you can store that away. All right, well, that's about all from us at HLP. Hope this makes it a bit easier to get the loggers working and use the products. And you'll find that these instructions are actually on, this video is on the CD that comes with your product. Thanks a lot.